Late wet. Honestly, it's probably about time to relax. Where should we relax? Was there anything cool for relaxing here? Relax on the walls. So this gives us friendship with Gis. What does the other relaxation give us? What's the benefits? I'm wondering. Huh. Let's try the walls out. We haven't done it before, even though it's wet and raining and miserable out here. After the first attack on the colony, they added lookout towers to the walls. Now you have a place to hang out if you don't feel like working. And because it's all the way up here, no adults are going to come ask you to run any errands for them. On rainy days, you take shelter under the pavilions and listen to the pitter-patter of warm raindrops on the grass roof. You can do whatever you want. Ah, this is the life. That's the perfect place to slack off. It's nice to keep watch. Or it's a good place to study. It's a pretty good place to study, I'd say. You pack your holocular. So it's clear to play on binoculars, right? Holoculars. Gotcha. The wall is a great vantage point to examine the wild jungle outside the colony. Your independent study even counts towards class credits, without having to actually be in class. Oh, there's Solana. Just pops his head up a nearby ladder and looks surprised to see someone else here. Do you mind if I sit here too? Heck yeah! Come sit beside me! The two of you dangle your feet off the side and watch the valley below. Just shuffles a little uncomfortably and doesn't say much. You wonder if this was his private spot to be alone before you discovered it. Well, clearly we're not forgetting either of these memories. There's a commotion in the square. An expeditions vehicle has driven through the gates and is idling in the middle of the square. An unusual sight. People come down from command to investigate. Utopia gets... Really? You're called Utopia? That's your name? Okay, anyways. Utopia gets out of the vehicle and trudges over to Uticott. After a brief conversation, you see Uticott gesture for people to unload the vehicle and clear the area. You stay out of the way to see what they're unloading. Is it a corpse? It's a body. Chief Surveyor Tonnen's body. Someone quickly covers him with a sheet, but not before the image of his torn open body is seared into your memory. However he died, it was violent and bloody. You feel your stomach cramp with nausea. What happened? Just asks, coming over to crouch around the corner with you. You share that Uncle Tonnen is dead, and he stares at the sheet-covered body intensely, as if he could see through it. Did they say how? They never tell us the truth anyway. Nobody will tell the kids what really happened. Did something eat him? Did he get lost or fall off a cliff? Do they even know? Just nods, frowning. They don't want us to know about the monsters and other worse stuff. They want us to think everything is fine, but it's not. This planet isn't as nice as they say it is. He shakes his head. They hate that they can't control us. You and Dis watch the adults carry Uncle Tonnen's body away. From the way he's practically vibrating, you can tell Dis wants to ask more questions about what happened. After a few awkward minutes, he sneaks away without saying anything. Probably to try to go take a look at the body. At least Tammy isn't around to see this, you think. At least they're together now. Wherever people go when they die. You watch Utopia bend over to get a hug from Uticott, wiping her eyes as she finally cries. Uticott has never been the most comforting presence in your life, but it seems to help. Utopia will probably be the next chief surveyor. At 24, she'll be the youngest council member. She was only a toddler when the stratosphere left Earth. Apparently her sharp eye and hoverbike flying skills are the best in expeditions. Welcome to Glow. Okay, yeah, we know about Utopia now. Oop, I wasn't meaning to go here. So clearly we don't want to relax. We already kind of have that covered. Hey guys, how you doing? Anything cool going on? An enemy flashes her headlamp at you as you approach. Did you ever learn Morse code, she says, giggling. Calm says, if I spell out a bad word, my headlamp is gonna break clean off. Okay, cool. Hey Mom, what's up? Your mom gives you a stern look. Be careful, she warns you. Now that we know for a fact it isn't safe out there during glow, I won't have you venturing close to the walls. Stay where I can see you, close to the ship. Sure thing, Mother. Sure thing, sure thing. Actually, very few people are out right now. You find Jess illuminated by the only glow of his holoscreen. It's easier to read when it's dark, he explains. It's less glare. This is the best season. Okay. Interesting. Anyone else around? What do we want to do? Could do some class. I'd like to study some more humanities. Like, persuasion is kind of our, like, strength, so we should really push it a bit further. One of your assignments this month is to study the internet, which is sort of like a proto-holo archive, but a lot smaller and more slow. People didn't even have it implanted into their holopalms. The best part of the month is the day you discover something called a meme, and subsequently endanger all of your friendships by sending people contextless pictures with weird text on them. You just tell them you guess they had to be there. Okay. We'll do paperwork. And also dissect stuff. And also get some kudos. Can we get any more out of this? These zeros are really weighing me down. If we put a 0 out there, that doesn't help us immediately, but what if we put another 0 out there? That still doesn't help us. Okay, I think we just gotta go with the 14 and push through. It's been a quiet glow, but the grim, surreal darkness of the season reminds you of last year's violence. As the month wears on, you overhear arguments at dinner. Adults worrying that an attack is still coming, and others who think the first one was a fluke. Surveyors mention seeing new tracks in the forest, but are shushed so people don't panic. The gates are closed. You drill emergency procedures, filing soundlessly from the classroom to the crish to hide under tables, waiting for the sirens to call all clear. You drill and prepare and worry, but nothing happens. Then, just as glow is starting to wane, the toxic purple spill of the wormhole fading as the sun almost rises past the horizon again, the sirens start. You're reading a holo novel in bed when you hear them, followed by the stomp of boots down the hallway outside your quarters. A note flashes on your holopalm. Shelter in the creche. This is not a drill. You get another message from your dad. Me and Mom are going to stay in the greenhouses. We're safe. Just follow Auntie Anne to the creche and wait for us, okay? Don't worry. We're way more prepared than we were last year. Love you. Stay safe. You could go to the creche where you belong. Or you could follow the security guards and see what's happening at the gates. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I don't have the bravery for that. Yeah. So we'll go to the creche. Let's go to the creche. You head for the children's creche. Even with just the emergency lights on, your feet could never forget the way. When you get there, you spot Tangent and Jis huddled together on the beanbag chairs. Jis is stone-faced, as usual, and he's holding Tangent in his arms. You can't remember the last time you saw them this close. Tang must be really scared. I forgot they were siblings. Right, yeah. You take a seat on a beanbag chair and wait. Other children filter into the room after you. An enemy, her little brother's Nougat. You don't see him, so Kyle must be sheltering with your parents in the greenhouse. Yep, they're okay. Let's talk to Jis and Tang. We're friends. So dumb to us outside, Dis grumbles. We live here too. We deserve to know what's going on. They're treating us like little kids. I'm not even scared. You search his face for signs he's lying to sound cool, but his bad mood is sincere. Tangent smacks his arm. Don't be ridiculous, she snaps. There's dangerous animals out there. This just shrugs. Nothing scares him. You don't hear much from outside. After a while, the sirens sound all clear, and you all file back to your quarters. Your mom and dad join you right away and give you a big hug, and thank you for following their instructions. When things have calmed down, you overhear your parents talking. I'm not going to the first to congratulate Rat, but all of his defensive improvements were exactly what we needed. Your mom grumbles. He's going to be insufferable at the next council meeting. Your dad pats her hand. Credit where credit's due. Bell, he says, and he smiles despite himself. Could have been worse. Your mom nods, and they both sit in silence before your dad speaks again. Poor Hal, he says, sighs. What a way to go. Oh, Professor Hal. Your parents startle. Hey, Pumpkinhead, your dad says. Yeah, they're going to announce it in a few hours, after everyone's had a chance to calm down. He didn't make it. But who's going to teach the classes now? Your parents exchange a look. Don't worry about that, your mom replies. Classes will be cancelled while they decontaminate engineering, and we'll see what happens after that. You don't know why the question popped into your head, but you immediately feel weird and guilty for asking. You curl up quietly to think. It feels like there's been some mistake. You can't just die. He's your teacher. You try to imagine life without Professor Hal, but you just can't. Alrighty, we've reached age... Or we finished age 11, I guess, roughly speaking. And, well, we acquired 6 persuasion, 9 creativity, a bravery, 7 reasoning, 8 organization, 3 engineering, 8 biology, 2 perception, 3 combat, 1 animals. We got half art with tangent, dis, Mars, and anemone. And we got some good memories this year. Okay, to age 12 we go. So, Tangent, what do you think about the whole, classes being cancelled? I don't do playing, Tang says, watching an enemy and some of the small children tear through the colony, chasing after a sports ball. Why would I put effort into chasing around a dumb ball, getting sweaty and tired for fun? She shudders. I'd rather spend my time doing something important. That's our reason doing terrible. Okay. Oh, apparently we can go back to classes, no problem. Cool. Hey, Anemone, how you doing? You don't see an enemy. She sees you first. Tag! She exclaims, pouncing on you from behind. You're it! Great. Yes, you're it. You can hear just sniffling, finding him tucked into a leeward alcove of the walls. He stumbles to his feet when he sees your approach. What do you want? He scowls. Did Mars send you? Tang. I'm not going back. I'm not just going to do what people tell me. If you say so. Hey. You step cautiously through the colony gates. Solana, how's it going, little sis? Chief Surveyor Utopia steps casually out to bar your way while making it look accidental. Whoa there! I don't know if you're ready to get out there and join the surveyors just yet. Why don't you skedaddle and stick to Sportswell inside the walls for now? She rubs her knuckles into your scalp and sends you on your way. Fair enough. Hey Cal, how are you doing? How's the farm been going? Cal has collected a fine assortment of plastic and metal containers and assembled them into what passes for a drum set, and his clattering away at them echoes through the garden. When he sees you, he twirls his drumstick and gives you a cheeky smile. Huh, they're just gonna get no recycled anyway. Okay. Do that then. Hey Dad. Your dad is poring over some reports on his album. Oh, hey little seedling, he says, distracted. Did you know that Watato plants are related to Sniff Blossom? Never would have thought. He puts down his work and smiles. What do you need? Nothing. Nothing at all. Hey, Mom. Your mom looks up from her planting. What is it, Solana? Unless you're here to work, I'm busy. Okay, later then. What do we get from working here again? We can shovel dirt for toughness and kudos. Gotcha. Toughness and kudos. Oh, hey, Mars. What's up? And furthermore, your attitude towards your elders in general is entirely disrespectful. You find Judicott delivering a scathing reprimand to Mars, who is doing her level best to look like she'd rather be anywhere else. You speak out of turn, you question the council's decisions. If you disagree with an order, you simply do not do it. I could go on. Do you need me to go on? Mars scowls. No, she replies. Judicott clicks her tongue. I honestly thought better of you, Marzipan, she chastises. You have the sort of natural leadership ability I remember from when I was a girl many years ago. Mars doesn't roll her eyes, but you get the sense it's a close call. You need to set a better example for the other children, Judicott continues. It's okay to have your own opinions, but you kids can't just do whatever you want. You have to follow the rules and respect your elders. I am setting a good example, Mars retorts, stomping her foot. Hello? The only reason we're here is because a bunch of people knew living on Earth was nonsense and decided to do something different. Judicott looks scandalized, but Mars just continues on. Maybe kids should have more authority. We're the ones with the new ideas that'll take us into the future. No, Mars. That's no way to run a government. Don't speak for all of us, please. Mars gives you a dirty look, clearly not impressed by your interjection. Judicott's mouth opens and closes a few times. Then she puts her hand to her forehead. Both of you, get back to your duties, she sighs. Marzipan, we'll talk about this later. In private. Solana, come here, Mars demands. When you do, she slings her arm across your shoulders and raises her hollow palm to take a picture. Look cool, she instructs you. I need to take a selfie with someone every day or I lose my streak. She presses her cheek against yours and purses her lips. The picture turns out okay. Mars slaps a filter on it and posts it to the colony messenger board. I'm glad to have been able to help you with that. What are we going to do? I kind of want to... Oh, let's look at the spy depot. Same sort of things? Yeah. I would like... Let's go to class. Let's do some more engineering. The colony is still reeling from Professor Hall's death. You're not sure what to expect when you go to class today. You take your seat in the classroom. Chief Engineer Instance is chatting near the front with Tangent, but as the class fills up, Tang returns to her seat and Instance fires up Congruence's hollow projection. Oh, what voice was I doing for this person? Alright, listen up, Instance says. Congruence is expensive as hell to run in interactive mode, but she'll have to do as your teacher for now. I'm far too busy to be teaching children. Today, Congruence teaches you about machine learning and the development of artificial intelligences. Congruence has been a part of your life for as long as you can remember. It's hard to imagine a time when people didn't have access to such a powerful, all-knowing intelligence. How did people used to learn anything? Okay, what are we doing here? We gotta get to 20? Okay, gotcha. Well, this makes sense, right? And if we're gonna do this, we might as well do this. And if we're gonna do this, you should do this and this. And get 20 exactly. Alrighty. You've been having weird dreams, as usual. They seem to get worse around glow. You wake from a dream that has tears drying on your face. Though you can't remember why, just that you were terrified. Whatever it was, it felt real enough for a moment. You just lie in bed with your eyes closed and try to calm your breathing. You barely rub your eyes and Surprise! Oh, it's your birthday. Your dad leaps onto your bed and gives you a big cuddle. Happy birthday, little tomato head. 12 years old. Wow, can you believe it? No, your mom answers for you, laughing as she hands you your present. It was just yesterday, and Tessence was just showing me how to change your diaper. Because it's your birthday, your parents have brought in food from the canteen, so you can all eat together on your bed. As you stuff your face with savory tofu chunks, you open your present. Which one? Or presents, rather. Which one is your favorite? Okay, we got a boutique of exotic flowers from your mom. A stuffed xenofauna from your dad. A photo fauna from your best friend. +1 to cards. +1 to those cards. Alright, so we got social cards, toughness cards, and this is just a flower. Let's get the photo phonar. A photo phonar! This instrument is part flute and part paintbrush and uses a neural link to paint holograms in the air as you play. How did Mars know? What a great gift. You can't wait to practice it in the lounge. Everyone's going to love it. Okay, great. We can play the photo phonar in the living quarters. As your dad clears away the wrapping paper and the dishes from breakfast, your mom folds her hands on the table and gives you a serious look. Uh-oh. So, she says, we've been here 2 years now. I know your dad and I have always said you're in charge of your schedule, but we've been keeping an eye on you. Good. I've been doing classes diligently. I've been working on occasion and relaxing, enough to keep myself sane. I have no problem with you keeping an eye on me. I've been doing great. A loving eye, your dad interjects, as stuffing wrapping paper into the recycler pickup bin. A trusting, gentle eye. Professor Hal used to tell us all the time about how hard you're trying in school, your mom continues. That's great. Your dad and I are really proud of you. Working might seem fun and grown up, but when you're a kid... Oh, wait. Working might seem fun and grown up when you're a kid, but if you want to do more than manual labor, you'll need some book smarts too. Your dad joins you again. So, it's time to start thinking about how you're going to contribute to the colony when you're older. At the look on your face, he laughs. Don't worry, we're not going to make you get a job right now. We're just asking what do you want to be when you grow up. Alright, well, what do we got? A farmer, like you two. Need 5 biology, right? I have to wonder, is it a bad sign that we have perhaps spread ourselves so thin that we can choose all but one of these options? Okay, let's see. You get a farmer, a teacher, a mom with like 10 kids. Honestly, that kind of is phrased like a funny question, but like in a colonizing expedition, that's like extreme. That's actually very important. You got to get the population up, right? You can only bring so many people over. Anyways, captain of the sports ball team, a famous idol. Famous to whom? Like, seriously, this population on the colony is minuscule. Minuscule. Anyways, a monster hunter. Governor of Vertumna. Okay, well... And what makes sense for Solana? If we look at that's friends, memories, and clearly most of her memories and stuff is related to the like here, where can I see stats? Oh, well, that is stats, never mind. Yeah. Obviously, I don't think this is a binding choice. So it probably isn't too big of a thing. I know what did this character say, Solana, at this point? I'm certainly not captain of the sports ball team. She hasn't really taken to farming. A teacher is possible. Well, here, empathy. This one is creativity. And then this one's persuasion. So really, it should probably be the governor or an idol. I think Solana at this stage of her life is probably a bit more happy-go-lucky, carefree, so I think she'd have a dream of being an idol. Your mom squints. You've been watching those influencer videos again, haven't you? Oh, those terrible, awful, no good influencer videos. How could I? She accuses. I hate that we scraped those off the hallnet before we left. You know they were made up most of the time, right? No one really lived like that by the time we left Earth. Well, your mom starts to get up. I'm sure your friends all want to wish you a happy birthday. She stops and snaps her fingers. Oh, you might not have considered a career as a depot clerk, but Al and Bernie mentioned their daughter, Mars, is working there, and she needs some help now that people can freely order luxuries. It's pretty busy there. Sure beats shoveling dirt, your dad laughs. If you don't take that job, you tell Mars I'll be right there. Your mom rolls her eyes and smiles. Mid-quiets. Hey, Tangent, what do you have to say? Tangent is storming around the quad in front of engineering, checking notes on her holopalm, gesturing and grunting in frustration. This is the worst. What's the matter, Tang? I can't possibly, she says, her voice cracking. She seems too upset to even explain it. Professor Hal, she tries again. How's helping me with this physics chapter? Now he's... She throws her hands in the air. Virtual holopalm screens flying everywhere. I can't understand this without him. This is impossible. She chokes out. Why did he have to die? I think this is a hug moment. Right? It doesn't really... I miss you, Tim, too. Yeah, we all do, okay? Leave me alone. Or we're all going to die eventually? Why would you say something like that now? I know that, but like, really? This is hug moments. She stiffens, then lets you hold her. You can feel her shaking. You think she might be crying, but when she finally pulls away, her eyes are dry. Thank you, Solana, she says. I know you're having a hard time with this as well. Nothing is easy on Rotumna. When even the adults can't protect themselves, it's obvious we're on our own here. I can't help you study because I'm terrible at engineering. But, good luck. Tang nods, going back to her desk. Thank you, she mumbles. Let's see, as for the others, how are you doing? Sports ball goes sailing over your head. 4! And Enemy giggles as she jogs up to you. That's what they used to say on Earth when the ball would go into the ground. I like it. Yes, how are you? You can hear just snuff. I think we already read that one. Cal? Anything? Cal is sitting on the garden fence, his feet tucked into the slats, tapping away at the saw screen. School's very interesting when you can actually see how it matters, he says. Your mom says I can do more important stuff on the farm if I learn about crop rotation and stuff. He frowns at his saw screen. It's more math than I thought there'd be. Yeah, that's a bit of a constant in life, honestly. So, we can go look at that supply depot. We can get a gardening trowel. Well, we don't have the kudos for anything, unfortunately. Oh well. Let's look at the notice board. Anything. Okay, well, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Maybe we could do some engineering classes. Like getting the reasoning up. You should have known better, Tangent, you hear as you walk past the laboratory. Curious, you listen at the door. Chief Engineer Instant sighs. I know you meant well, but your presumption has cost us 3 months of work. You can't simply look at an experiment and change the parameters to your liking. Getting results is not the same as doing good science. Your findings, however scientifically interesting, are useless to us without sound methodological underpinnings. Tang's response is more subdued than you've ever heard her before. I'm sorry, Chief Engineer, she mumbles, looking down at the floor. I recognize the error of my ways. I should hope so, Instance replies, pinching the bridge of her nose in her fingers. I expect you in the lab first thing tomorrow morning, and I will personally supervise your work in resetting the experiments. You flatten against the wall as Instance breezes past you, barely giving you a second look as she strides down the hallway. You peck your head inside the laboratory where Tang scowls and wipes her eyes. What do you want? That's what we gotta cheer up, it could be worse. Or it'll be better the second time around. And this requires a skill check, which must mean it's a better choice, right? Yeah! It's true, I could have lost 4 months of work, Tang says wryly. That's the spirit. Losing the data was my fault, Tang continues. I want to prove I'm not the little kid from biology class, that I'm ready to work hard and really make great discoveries. Dr. Instance has always been there for me when I was a kid, and now with my mother gone, she's the only adult in this colony who sees what I could become. She says she believes that I can be better than what I am. It's always been that way. I just really want to impress her. And you will. You will. I believe you will. Tang hums in agreement. I certainly hope so. Okay. This should be a pretty easy one. So, hold on a second. So this is a 1. This is a 2. This becomes a 3. Right? Oh, no, that's only... Okay, I see. That applies there, specifically. I guess we might as well do this. And if we're not getting this, we might as well do... We clearly want to debate. Like, is there a way, though, we could do this? And I guess you don't need to go overkill, do you? Like, this is the same. What if we did this? Because then we get slightly extra. Okay. Sure. Late quiets. Okay. What do I want to do this month? I am kind of curious about sneaking out. I don't know. It does seem quite dangerous out there. Maybe we should get a bit more combat skills. Let's get the I don't know. The class seems generally useful. I feel bad for just doing class a bunch, but like it helps the skills we're trying to build, so